Hey guys, welcome back to another review. Todd here with HobbyLink Japan, and today it feels like it's been a while since we have taken a look at an actual Gundam kit, and today that's what we are going to do. So the kit we are going to take a look at today is going to be from Gundam Build Divers Re-Rise, the latest new series. It is the Gundam G-Else. Who else but the G-Else? Okay, I think I've made that joke before, but anyway, there you have it again. So yes, G-Else, and as you can tell by that name, you can probably guess what suit that this one is a variant of, and that is none other than the Reconguista G-Self. So I think this, as I mentioned on the Gunpla TV episode when this thing came into stock a while ago, that this is the first of the Reconguista kits to come to get a new variant for the Build Divers series. So I think that pretty much just leaves the orphans, Iron-Blooded Orphans. I think there's still no Iron-Blooded Orphans kits in the Build Fighters lineup. So when Build Fighters first came out, there were no age kits in the Build Fighter line, and now we do have age kits. We had the age 2 variant in the Build Fighters, Build Divers lineup, and now we're getting stuff from the Reconguista series. So hopefully this is the first of many. There was a number of interesting suit designs that came out in that series, so it'd be interesting to see what kind of wacky Build Fighter type restyles they can do for those suits in the series. So hopefully we will get more, but for today let's take a look at the G-Else. So one thing you will notice straight away about the G-Else compared to the G-Self that this is based off of is the colors are completely different than that G-Self. So the G-Self was a more traditional white, blue, red, and yellow type of Gundam colored unit, but this thing is pretty much all black. So we got these nice black, dark black colors with pink accents in there, and we also have some bits of light gray that make up the inner waist area there, as well as a lot of the weapons and whatnot. So that is quite cool to see. And speaking of those pink parts, that's where we're going to get a number of these parts molded in this clear plastic. So that also makes it look quite nice, I do believe. And also, underneath these clear plastic parts here, there was a number of stickers that you're going to need to apply for this kit. So they do have some stickers under there that were like a pink metallic type of color, and that helps add to the reflection, or the, how would I say that, the kind of the reflectability type look to the clear parts there, so it makes the light really reflect off the inside there. So that is quite nice. We have one here in that waist part there in the front. There's one here in the center of the chest, which looks quite nice, as well as, I don't recall if the eye there is, because for this unit here, one of the cool kind of features for this thing is he has this kind of four-eyed setup. Whoops, focus there for me. And all of 4 of those eyes are now covered in stickers, and it's been a little while since I built this kit, so I actually do not recall if that eyepiece originally was clear or not, but yeah, it had stickers in there, as well as stickers up here, stickers on the arms, stickers there in the shoulders. There are quite a few stickers back of the helmet there, back of the legs. Yeah, I think I actually might have spent more time putting on all the stickers for this guy than I did actually building him. Let's take a look at that sticker sheet, since I'm talking about this now anyway. So here is the sticker sheet that comes with this kit. As you can tell, and some of them are quite thin, so quite a number of stickers that you will be applying to this kit when you put it together. But once these stickers are actually on there, I think they actually do, for the most part, look pretty decent, and they don't really stand out. Now, there is one exception, and this was actually the same problem I had with the G-Self as well, is this piece on the top of the helmet here, this kind of bigger type sticker that kind of folds over a round point. Whenever you try to put stickers over rounded parts like that, they never really fold, or they never really conform perfectly with the plastic part, I find, and because they don't really conform nicely with that round part, they kind of tend to stand out a bit more and scream, "Hey, yeah, I'm a sticker!" Yeah, so there is that. But for the most part, all the other stickers on here, they blend in pretty nicely and look great. So other things that have been changed on this kit compared to the old G-Self are, let's take a look here at the bottom. So now he's got these wacky kind of claw type feet with a cannon in the center of them. And actually, I'll just go ahead and pull one of these off here. Now, it shows in the manual that this is going to be kind of one of the trick features for this thing, is that you can pull off his feet and you can mount this onto a display stand. And I don't recall if this was something you could stick one of the beam sabers. Yeah, you can stick one of the beam sabers into that cannon into the bottom of the foot there and make it look like it's a cannon that's shooting something. So that is one kind of cool trick feature there for his foot. Alright, and let's go ahead and put this foot back on. For the most part, this kit builds pretty much like you would expect an HG kit to build. So nothing very difficult, truly difficult about putting this thing together. It did use polycaps, I do believe, if I remember correctly. But other than that, actually, it's pretty nicely, at least since I just put it together not too long ago, I really haven't futzed around with it too much, and it's pretty stiff still, I have to say, so that is not too bad. Other than the stickers, I think the stickers were kind of pretty much my biggest complaint about this kit here. So yeah, the foot there, because it is a kind of weird design, it is going to actually give you a pretty decent range of movement because it has that kind of tall upper part to it, and you're able to bend the foot all around in different directions, which is nice to see. We're going to get our standard kind of double jointed leg here, although because I think, yeah, the back of the leg here is wanting to prevent it from really going up a bit, so this is about as far up as you're going to be able to get that leg there. But other than that, pretty decent, I think, and pretty flexible range of movement here for the upper part of the leg. There we go. So yeah, it can go out pretty much at a 90-degree angle, so that's pretty always nice to see. The chest area here, there is an extra kind of joint there in the center there, in addition to being able to twist it around, so you can kind of bend his torso around a bit more than your standard type of kits. A pretty standard type of head joint, although this one has two joints here for the neck. There's a joint there at the bottom as well as up the top of the head, which is nice. The arm, you have your standard kind of polycap with the ball in the socket, and yeah, it has that type of shoulder joint where it does actually kind of pull out a little bit. So if you wanted to try and get one of those poses with the arm in front of the chest, because that joint does pop out a little bit, you are able to do those type of poses as well. So here we got the arm going up at a straight angle, and the bending in this position, not really, maybe not as great as it could be, but that's, I don't know how many people out there really are desperate to have that arm bend any further. And for the hand joint here, just your standard type of ball joint there as well. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Pretty much standard for an HG kit on the articulation department. Nothing really to write home about. Now you'll notice that I pulled off one of his arm pieces here, and let's go ahead and talk about this since I have this off. So for this kit, his special weapon are going to be these arm units here, which they had a pretty funny name, I thought, and they are calling them the Grow Up Arm. So I guess he's all grown up now, and he's got his grow up arms. Yeah, but they look pretty, I don't know, look pretty cool. I like this wing that sticks off of it, and the wing does have a joint on the inside, so you are able to flex this up and down if you would like. And these two kind of blade things on the front here have joints as well, so you can expand them out or close them as well. And another feature for this unit is that you can, just like the foot actually, you can take his little beam sabers here and plug it in. So You can have this separate from the actual G-Else kit itself, and you can mount this onto a display stand and just have his grow up arm and the foot as well firing separately from the unit itself. So let's take a look at the picture they show from the manual for that. So here we have the G-Else, and the foot is connected to one stand. So this is one of those action-based stands here at the bottom. Does not come with a display stand, this kit, unfortunately. If you'd like to do this kind of pose with the stand and the foot and the arm separate, you will need to go out and actually buy an action base, which we do sell on our site, HobbyLink Japan, HLJ.com. Be sure to check it out if you have not already. So yeah, but it's a pretty cool look, because yeah, since it's got that weapon in the foot there, you can kind of do these kind of crazy foot poses here where it looks like he's shooting something from the foot itself. So that's kind of a cool pose that you can do with this unit. It makes it look quite cool. And there is, of course, the original G-Self, which this kit is based off of. Now, this is the version that came with the Atmosphere equipment pack on his backpack there. Now, I tried to look in my stash I know I've built this specific G-Self before, and that was actually long before I actually started working here at HobbyLink Japan, which was 5 years ago. So this guy's been out for quite a while, so I couldn't find this specific variant, but I did find an old, I think this was the space type version. So there was a number of different G-Self HG kits that were released during that series, and one of the ones that they released had this kind of crazy large type of backpack to it, and this was one of those ones that came with that backpack. So I pulled this out from the backpack itself to bring it onto the show, so that way we can kind of compare the original G-Self, although the shoulders are different for this version compared to the original release. But what have you, we'll take a look, because a lot of the stuff is actually going to be the same between these two kits. So now we can kind of compare what is the same and what is different. So you will notice, at least for the leg here, at least not the foot itself, but the rest of the leg is pretty much going to be identical for these two parts. Now this unit here on the side gains some kind of weird type of blade type things, but other than that, that looks pretty much the same as well. The midsection there is going to be the same, although on the side here, I forget exactly what that was called off the top of my head, but these parts here on the side, they are different between the two kits. And the torso is going to be identical. Now on the top of his shoulders there, these parts are actually going to be different on the upper side here. So that is different. The shoulders are completely different, but the inside of pretty much the inner arm part, that is going to be identical between these two units as well, except for the back part here, because on this guy you need to be able to plug in his grown-up arms, and on the back of this original G-Self there is no hole to be able to plug in those grow-up arm units. So that is going to be different between these two kits here. And then we can see the back of these two kits. That looks pretty much the same. Actually, I think these might be slightly different between the two. But other than that, the legs are pretty much identical. The back chest unit there is pretty much identical. And we can go up to the head unit there, and you can tell the head pieces here, they've got stickers in the same places. The heads are, at least as far as that part goes, make sure I'm staying on camera here. Yeah, the head is kind of quite different. And where the head is going to change here is going to be in that front part there. So his kind of, not really a V-fin, but his kind of antennas on the side of the top of the head, those are pretty much the same. But this new one gains this kind of funky front face mask to give him those 4 eyes, so that is quite different, as well as the shoulders, except even this G-Self here, the shoulder is different from that version that we were just looking at in that manual image too. So a couple of different shoulder options out there for the G-Self, and now we have also the G-Else. Alright, so another thing that this kit does include is going to be his kind of a beam rifle, just a standard beam rifle they're calling it here, and I have his gripping trigger finger already equipped onto there, so I can quickly swap that out if I would like to sometime in the future. So I don't have an original rifle for the G-Self, so I'm not actually too sure if this one, judging by the image here and the instruction manual, what he is holding there, actually I think this looks pretty much identical to what he's holding there. So I think probably, I'm going to guess that this is exactly the same beam rifle that comes with the G-Self. Now we get it with the G-Else. So there is that. If you would like to have him gripping onto a rifle, you can do that. Alright, so I think pretty much that's going to wrap it up here for this G-Else kit. If you like suits that are molded in these kind of darker black and pink colors, then this might be something right up your alley. Or if you're just looking to build something a bit different than usual, this is definitely a bit different than usual, I have to say. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. I'm really hoping, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I really hope that we do get some more suits from that Reconguista series here in the Gundam Build Divers lineup, especially a Mac Knife. I'd like to see kind of a new variant of that Mac Knife kit. So yeah, the enemy suits in the series really had some interesting designs. So hopefully we get some new variants on those suits. I hope. Bandai, let's get some more. It'd be cool. And speaking of the G-Self, I know a lot of people out there are still kind of hoping that maybe someday Bandai will actually give us a full-on, possibly version of Master Grade of the G-Self. This poor guy, this poor suit kind of, yeah, I mean the whole series kind of came and went. Well, maybe it wasn't exactly the most popular Gundam anime series ever made, but still, the G-Self at some point, I really hope that he does get a Master Grade someday down the line. I think it'll happen. It's just a matter kind of when. Maybe on a future 5 or 10 year anniversary after the series. Actually might have, yeah, gosh, it's been at least 5 years since this series came out originally, so maybe 10 years after the series originally came out, we'll finally get a Master Grade of the G-Self. Who knows, poor G-Self. Hopefully you get a Master Grade someday. I hope. You kind of a really cool looking suit. I still like you, G-Self. Alright, so with that, we are going to go ahead and wrap this video up. Thank you very much for watching. Now, I am going to be building that GP Rase, which is the latest new release for the Gundam Build Divers series here. So look forward to that review. Hopefully I can maybe get that one up in a week or so. There's a number of other kits in the backlog that still need to be reviewed as well. So I've got quite a list of stuff that I need to review for this show here. So be sure to tune in. We'll be bringing you videos. Gosh, I think lately we're bringing you videos pretty much every day just about at this point. Between now, we've got the boss builds going on with Scott, so if you haven't checked that out, be sure to check out those videos as well. And yeah, a number of other, a lot of interesting stuff going up on HobbyLink.tv these days. So thank you very much out for watching, and be sure to tune in for more videos, and we'll see you again soon.